Zone 16. 16-1. Welcome back to another Bit Legends video, fellas. I'm willing to bet that there's a large percentage of you that had the same reaction I had as soon as we saw this enemy on the screen. Because this is probably one of the first enemies, the blue guy specifically, but this is probably the first group of enemies that really stuck a lot of people. I don't know if it was 7-11 or 8-11 or whatever he is. I guess it would have to be 8-11. Can I sneak it? No, we can't. This group of enemies really just smashed people for a very long time. I think I was easy here, but most people were stuck. And then I got stuck somewhere else because I'm a tank. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it was rough. The blue guys had so much speed that they would just melt your team before you had a chance. I had to run like an all-offensive team, one tank, which was myself. And you can see that video. That's actually worth watching, but it was very difficult. We seem to be doing okay here, but we don't know which one's the boss. It's Fin Funnel, and I don't know which one Fin Funnel is. And it's the beginning, so we shall see. Dang it, they had to hit the same guy. Let's wait until I have a heal ready for him, because it would be pretty stupid to revive and then walk right into a kill shot. That would be stupid, so let's not do that. Did anybody play WildStar? I enjoyed that game a lot. It did not get the love it deserved. I feel like it was mismanaged by Carbine and whoever the publisher was. It feels bad. That was a very fun game, though, honestly. I liked that the skills were all... none of the skills were targeted. There might be like one exception or something, but none of the skills in WildStar, even the healing abilities, were not targeted. The way they did it is you would put a telegraph on the ground. So, hey, can we catch something? Oh, this is the boss, too, Fin Funnel. So we're going to fight that guy, whatever he does. I actually could have looked at his skills there if I was a smart boy. I could have looked at the skills to see what we're going to fight against, but whatever. I'm not that smart. And anyways, in WildStar, the boss, maybe? No, he's not. Okay. In WildStar, none of the skills were targeted. I like that so much. Hang on, let me drink, fellas. Let me drink. This water is not clenching me, or quenching me. I think that's a boss over there. I think we found him. And we got a lot of stuff to get through. Okie dokes. What happened to shrines? I feel like each flag should have one shrine. Health, I think there should be 3 kinds of shrines. A health shrine that heals you, an SP shrine that gives you full SP, and then a shielding shrine that gives you full shields. And then you got a chance to get any one of the 3. I think that would be cool, but whatever. I guess we're not going to have to worry about that because ain't no shrine here. Let's actually use some SP. And let's just do another random attack. Ooh, the reflect there was good, but we did lose our dude. Did I already use a potion? I think I might have. I don't know. I think we didn't, though. Anyways, I was talking about WildStar for whatever reason. And it was such a fun game, dude. It just, it mismanaged. I think the reason why WildStar failed is not because it had game flaws. I mean, any game has its flaws, but... they tried to make it a monthly subscription model, and that killed it out the gate, and it was never able to recover. And they even went, and people would say, well, that's not true because because they eventually went to a free-to-play model and it still didn't work. No. If you kill the momentum of the launch, that could be it for the game. Games don't really recover once they get that kind of stink on them. Is that not one of the bots? I thought it was. Is that not? Maybe he's not that big. That's what she said. Okay, this is troublesome. I'm going to take out the middle guy. That's the boss there, right? Yeah? Yellow? The yellow one? Anyways. So if you have such a rocky start, man, it's really difficult, maybe even impossible to recover from it. and they were not able to do it. Why am I talking about WildStar? Because I feel like it. It's whatever. But it was a fun game, man. I enjoyed it. I didn't get super deep into the game. Population was waning, and they did a bunch of things to try to like correct it and get it back on track and add a bunch of content. But it was kind of, a lot of the servers were like ghost towns, and by that time, even if you have good content, if no one's playing your game, you know, it's one of the reasons why Warcraft is still successful. Because even if you're not loving Warcraft in the moment, the fact that there's just a ton of people there is worth playing and showing up, and maybe you're waiting for whatever game you actually want to play. But just the fact that it's got a bunch of people there is very important. Speaking of a bunch of people, game's growing. iOS comes out soon. Maybe iOS has already come out by the time this video is up. That has the potential to double the amount of people playing the game. So it's awesome. The number one message I've gotten from people on YouTube is, when is it on iOS? Hey, I want to play, but I'm iOS. When is it on iOS? So the answer to that is soon. Here we go. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps. But Cupid doesn't kill, does he? Would you please just shut up? Dude, they can't just keep saying, would you please just shut up, as the punchline to everything. You can do better. You can do better, fellas. You can do better. But here we are. So, don't know what any of these guys do. I do think the blue one will be a problem when he is the boss. I think that's the final boss. The next one would probably be red. But, woo, he got sniped. Get sniped, fool. This might not be too bad. Might not be too bad. But anyways, yeah, it was fun, man. There's a lot of things in WildStar that I enjoyed. Like, again, the combat not being targeted. I like that so much. I hate when it's just like, okay, click on them or hit your nearest enemy button and then press your skill. Like, what is that? But at the same time, you don't, necessarily. I think it would be kind of fun to do an MMO where it's a first-person shooter. That's kind of cool. And there's been some things that have kind of been close enough to that. But I think aiming skills is kind of good, like a little bit of MOBA style in there. Bum, ba, da, bum, we lose another guy. I should probably be thinking about the fact that I've used potions and this is the first flag of the zone. That's something to think about for sure. But God, they always have to hit the same. That's what happens when you heal a guy or when you potion a guy and you don't have a heal ready to go for him. They just get sniped back down. I think the AI makes any attack target hit the lowest health, and then obviously attack weakest is going to do as well. I'm just double checking, make sure I can potion myself. So yeah, you're just asking it to get sniped in that case. But I think we got enough to do this one. Hopefully, we'll get some reflex in here. We got some dodges. And I mentioned it last time. Dodging doesn't take away from your reflect because reflect is calculated first. The game kind of rolls the dice on do you reflect first, and then if you don't do that, then it rolls on absorb, and if you don't do that, then it rolls on dodge. And obviously we got dodge there. There we go. But hey, we wrapped it up. We did use 2 or 3 potions, so this might be quite spicy quite soon, but we were able to do it. And yes, oh, WildStar. You know what, another MMO that I really enjoyed was Warhammer MMO, Warhammer Online, whatever they called it. Age of Reckoning. That game had like 5 names. That was such a fun game. It had flaws, of course, and honestly, a big part of the problem was the fact that they squished everything into 2 factions. If you know anything about the Warhammer franchise and lore and all that stuff, it's a bunch of different factions, and they didn't need to do like 6 factions. They could have just smushed it into 3 factions. But 2 factions is a flawed system because you're always going to have a population issue unless you really put like some sort of strong mechanics that forces players on certain realms. One realm is always going to have more population than the other, and that's going to be an issue. However, if you have 3 realms fighting against each other, then even if there's like on one side that has just a ton of population difference, the other realms can gang up together and get some, make the teamwork, make the dream work, the whole big deal. I'm kind of curious how could a game like this have a faction system? And with a game like this, you really want the community together. And in this day and age, when everybody having like communication, we've got Discord, we've got all these ways to stay connected. It's very difficult to have a 3-realm system like Dark Age of Camelot or Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2 is a really great example. It's kind of difficult to have that 3-realm system, especially in a mobile game like this, because it can be very obviously divisive, but splitting your community can be a problem, and balance issues and things like that. It's like, how would you make it work in a game like this? I think war mode that we have is an interesting take on it because the factions aren't super important. You could completely ignore war mode in this game, just like a lot of people ignore fishing, and it really wouldn't hurt you. It's one of those things, you have some extra time, you feel like it, okay, go do war mode. You get some gold, you get some gems. Not a big deal. If you forget it for a day, it's not a big deal. If you do it every single day, hey, it'll help you out. So if I get on the wrong colored team as all my friends or whatever, it's not the end of the world. It's just like, okay, whatever, I'm busy anyways, I'm not doing war mode. I would like to see them spice up war mode, possibly, and maybe make it compelling in some way. But again, with the balance, it's one of those things, let's say, because war mode resets like every week or every 2 weeks, I think it is. It resets, and then you're on a random team. And if you just happen to get put on a team that doesn't have power players, you're like, all right, well, this is going to be a waste of my time for the next week. But fortunately right now, because it's not compelling, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. It's one of those things, like, it's like more content. I think it's like, even though this game has fishing, it's almost like this game's version of fishing, because fishing essentially is something to do when you got extra time and you're out of resources. But it's not game breaking whether you do it or you don't. So it's just extra content for the player, really. But anyways, I don't know. We're talking about a lot of stuff. I'll see you in the next video. As always, appreciate you guys watching.